Right, another busy 12 days from the last sesh. Luckily for me, I've got an allotment which is close, so I can just leg it down there to escape from the situation we're in. Otherwise, I'd go loop. This is a photo of Matt Biggs. This is a BBC Guys World Live. I was going to talk there. He was my compere. He was brilliant. Great bloke. Talk to him man to man. He's a radio personality. He used to do Gardeners Question Time. But a Boston bloke. Unlike others that don't talk to you. Right, anybody recognise this flower? We'll come back onto him later on. There's a few house plants I've got, and the leaves look like a flower when you look at them from here, but obviously close up you can see he's got a nice colour on him, nice and red, but it is a leaf. The flowers are out the middle. This was last week, just giving him a mist foliar feed. Bougainvillea, as you know, you've been watching me vlogs. I grew these outside last year, and exactly the same with me little bonsai, my chili bonsai. I'm carrying growing him over winter. I thought I'll try it with these as well because he's starting to put a bit of colour on in the cold greenhouse. So I bought him in here, and he's also thrown flowers. Well, not flowers, but the leaves have gone that nice colour. So I'm still fouching him as well. Right, my greenhouse heater packed in. Well, it still blows, but the heater don't work. I've had him 20 odd here, Paracene. So I had to go down, screw fix and get me another one. That cost me 23 quid this morning. 2 kilowatt convector heater. Right, this little chap, he's been in the shed since he flowered, keep giving me room in the greenhouse, and he started spurting. I know it was last week, so I brought him into the cold end of the greenhouse. Whatever it was, I don't know what his name is. Gladiolus still spurting in the tunnel until the frost jobs them. When they are ready, they're coming there. Right, somebody asked me on here from last week just to give them a plan of me tunnel, me allotment. So I thought, well, I'll start from the top. That's my top orchard. So I've got apples, cherry, plum, damson, pear, red currants. Then I've got 5 raised beds working my way down, 26 foot long, 4 foot wide, which I can read the middle from either side. Then we're all prepared and ready for now. Then I've got a wooden structure. If you have a wooden structure on our site, you don't need planning permission. We need planning permission for a tunnel, greenhouse or shed, because we're self-governed now. But if you have a wooden structure, any size you want. So this one I did, environment around the bottom, netting on doors either end, and plastic on the top, meaning I've got good ventilation, and it still gets hot in there as well if we have a summer. But that's a good little structure I did. 2 decent sized raised beds in there, 4 foot wide again, and the top right of there I do my hydroponics. Haygrove Tunnel, working my way down the plot. This is my full allotment, and then I got half a plot after. Haygrove Tunnel, which me mother bought, I wouldn't pay for it, too expensive. And a nice raised bed in there as well with me grapevines. Bottom fruit, apple, plum, blackberry, which we can see there. Blackcurrant, damson, cherry, red currant, and 6 blueberries. With 6 compost bins as well, 4 for compost, 2 for leaf mould. With second lot of apple trees, which we're looking at now. All I'm doing is walking down slowly, taking photos until I come end on like that. And then you can see I can walk down either side to pick the apples. This, well, just train them where you want to go. And my bottom structure, wooden structure again, got 3 raised beds in. This is scaffolding netting, meaning it keeps the pigeons and the butterflies out. And that's a good thing as well. It's going to get weighted. Right, back up the top garden. End of the greenhouse. I went and saw my mate Chris and Neil over at Wednesbury. Had some leeks off him. Cumbrium samicross. I had a dozen of them and 2 dozen of the Welsh seedling. I'll do 12 of them for my mate as well. Them are in the end of the greenhouse. Temperature's kept at 50 or 10. And I put my door on at night, so I'm just heating that end bit. Don't forget this end is the cold end of the greenhouse. Going down the plot, and I got to the plot, and the pigeon bloke had dropped some muck off. Don't forget pigeon muck and chicken muck is strong, so be careful how you use it. I'll cover that a bit later on. When you drop the bags off, when I'm going to shut the gates, there's some more rabbit muck there, so I'll grab some more bags of that, which is a good brew, because it's going to be top dressing soon. So then I'll put 3 on all the bags, so the plot holders know they can take it. The straws I did last week, what I forgot to do was put this photo on with where I chopped all the tops off, the old growth. Right, this is a plum tree on the bottom orchard. It's got the new whips spurting from the bottom, so I'm going to cut all them off as well. That looks a bit better. Just look after the chaps, train them, tell them what you want to do. Still a few apples on, so I'm still eating them. Right, sprouts. Some groups I'm on Facebook, people are showing photos of sprouts with a full stem of sprouts, saying you need to get a good frost on before they pick them. No, you don't. I've been picking 2 months now. A sprout then, before a good frost, tastes exactly the same as after it's had a good frost. I'm there, pick them. People chop the top, well I chop the tops off, but I leave leaves on. Quite a few people take all the leaves off. A plant absorbs carbon dioxide from the air. This is through the tiny holes it has in the leaves, plus light energy from the sun to perform photosynthesis, i.e. nature at work. Leaves from leaves on, and you're helping the plant out. Right, my hydroponic hose from down the plot, I'm scrubbing that. That's the last thing I've got to scrub out. Then when I get down to the plot itself, where I do my hydroponics, I scrub all the balls down there. That's with Jay's fluid, so everything is nice and clean, which it is there. And it'll see me gravity fed way to put at the end. Right, coming back this way, I'll just take one of the covers off. This was prepared about a month ago, but there I've just lifted the corner. Look at that, worms active. Keep it moist, exactly the same as a compost heap, and they will work for you. Select seeds, that's what I use now. I've had a few off them. Right, getting me compost ready to start potting on, whatever. Umax with the vermiculite. Vermiculite hangs on to moisture, warmth, oxygen, plus worm casts. I'm putting a dollop of these in as well. If there's any lumps in the Umax, then I'll rub that out. This is biochar. I had this tub from a couple of years ago. I'm still using them. Look at the ingredients: biochar, mycorrhizal fungi, seaweed, worm cast, trichoderma, meaning I've got all the good ingredients. A fistful of that goes in as well. It's a good brew. I like my mycorrhizal fungi, which we'll come on again later on. So that's all mixed up, ready to pot on my pot legs. These are coming out of what I used to do a while back was put a pinch of mycorrhizal fungi in the bottom at this stage, but this stuff is that good because it colonises the roots. I run out of room in the greenhouse, so now I don't use it until I pot out. So I potted him up into his next pot, and then give him a nice water. So that's half a dozen of me pot legs done, or another half to do. Right, back down my wooden structure on the allotment, getting the rest of my leeks up. Allium leaf miner, pain in the arse, it's jobbed all these again. So will I do them next year? Then that's got them out. This is my rhubarb patch. What started to spurt, you always leave a spud in, I think you're getting it all out, so I took him out, composted him. Chopped rest that lot with some more muck. Got the last of my leeks out. They went, the council had them, because that's full of the fly, the decent ones I took out earlier on. Curly kale, take one on for dinner. More rabbit muck to do some top dressing. Luckily around the bottom of our plot, I can just pull up and drop the bags off there, so it's near me wooden structure. Park the car up the top, then walk down, then pick the bags up and empty them onto my raised beds. You saw the raised beds on the right as well, that I'd had some on and it had broken down already. Then I get my covers out, which are all marked up, and get them out. The one on the bottom where I got me spuds, that was folded up underneath. But that's what I want to see. A worm, which you know is still active, working away. Because I've got my curly kaolin, I ain't going to get him up because he's still growing. It'll give me a few, at least another month of feed yet. So I'll just split the top, put some black tape on, which I get from Wilco, stop the edges fraying, and then put him round the plant itself and put a bit of black tape on the top of him. When I come to take him off, just take that black tape off, open it up, and then seal the thing up again. So most of the bottom wooden structure is ready. Little Christmas cacti, they keep doing this, but they're busting plants. So I had a couple of them. They need potting on as well. So next pot size up. I planted them a bit deeper just to hold him up right, because the paper you get them in, the paper holds them up. So there's one in one pot. Back on the plot again. This is my plot for the disadvantaged people. Got most of the crap out. Clive's done quite a bit of work on there, luckily. Saved me well a bit of helping me out. You see how nice and clear it is, and the brambles that are coming in, because I've still got green leaves on, and the spray I'm using is systemic, meaning it'll go through the leaves down to the roots and kill them off. So I'll give them a good spray, and hopefully, so that'll help them off as well. I've been asked also about how I secure my netting to my tunnel. My structure on the bottom is basically Velcro. Velcro I get off Amazon by the roll, and there's a male and a female strip, so one sticks to the other. As you can see there, I staple the one, say the female, to the timber, put the netting on, and then put the female over the netting, and the holes are that big, it sticks through, but it's brilliant. The top comes off. I've took that off. Well, I have now, because I forecast snow 9 mile. It's a bloody snow, because I left them on last year. Right, bottom orchard. The red gooseberry that planted a few months ago, plus my berries. I'm all throwing shoots. That one's a bit blurred, but you can just make them out. There's the red goose gog, but he's got they've all got growth on it, luckily. There's me blueberries. And we've got shoots coming on as well. But that's nature. There's me blackcurrant. I've got to thin him again as well. Poinsettia. My little chap, he gets a foliar feed once a weekend. And the other chaps. If you keep feeding these and spraying them and watering them, because they're flowering, that's what they need. If you don't give them water, like me chilli, because he's still got chilies on, feed them. Right, this little chap, me orchid, I know a few mates who've binned them after a month. They've flowered, and after a month they get nothing, so they bin them. He's throwing a new shoot, keep them. Right, leaf mould down the plot. Take the lid off, take my carpets off. Look at that brew. This is a year old now, but beautiful stuff. You can't even tell it used to be leaf mould. But that's still an addition now to me compost ingredients. This is another one, 30th of the 10th. This was going to be leaf mould, but it was a mixture of rabbit muck and leaves. Plus he had a sprinkling of topsoil as well to give me the, was doing well. We've already had them. Gordon Bennett. I'm still getting used to this crap. Right, fuchsias that's still growing through, then I'll give them a spray, exactly the same as last week. In fact, there's one of them died off now. I should have took a photo of that and all. That flower showed earlier on, that's where it's from, Christmas cacti. Right, back in the garage again. I'm waiting for the charity shops to open because I'm running out of books. The older the paperback book you can get, the better. You can see the pages are off-white, meaning they're breaking down already. Eggshells, I've got to replace the blender as well. Empty my tea bags. Dry tea, good activator. That's me carbon. I've been ripping up my egg boxes during the week. So me paperback books go through the shredder. And my tea gets and my spent coffee grounds get thrown in. I'm also using on there the extras. Seaweed. That's my mixed ingredients ready for me carbon. We had another load, and I bought one bag up myself because I'm going to put him through the shredder. He will then not be so strong because it is pigeon muck or chicken manure, whichever one. Then you put your mask on and your gloves. Although my garage is open, it's on the other end, but it'll come out not big lumps but better. Posted my last two of garlic out. Going down the shed last Saturday, this is the last Saturday down our training sheds. I moved the cone, had a perv underneath because it was nice, moist and warm and dark. I borrowed a dollop of worms. Not many down the shed and the weather was good, so I worked out the shed price list ready for next year so you get that run off. Always doing something, never sat on my ass. My worms, which I've got in my little bag at the top, I thought I'd get some more. So this is where the spent tops are. Just go down with the hand fork. And then the rabbit muck at the end. Right by the sheeting. Just go down a couple of inches again. And there's loads of worms. So they will be me extras. If I go get down a couple of inches. Rip me composting. Bladling worms, tiger worms, composting worms. But look at that. Beautiful. Nice extra dollop for me composting. And there I've got a SAS worm trying to get out. Look, you can climb over there. Right, wood chip. When we first had wood chip on site, overnight we'd had it and it pedalled down, went down the next day and it was cooking, steaming, meaning it was breaking down that quick. But it's a natural product, it's good. I need some more for the back garden, so and me top dressing on my plot. So I'm scraping this up. You know, notice this little chap, and it's the mycelium, which is the vegetable part of a fungi, consisted of a network of hyphae roots. This is exactly the same or similar to start off as mycorrhizal of fungi, i.e. nature working away. And that's what I want. No disturbance, that's how nature gets to work. Look at it, beautiful stuff. I could watch these all day. You're not going to get bored if you ain't it. But it's that good, I even scrape some up and I keep that in a separate bag, and that will put into me next composting sesh. While I was down that end, I went in the loo for a piddle, and somebody hadn't changed the toilet roll. Put a new holder, why not? Jesus wept. Top orchard needs top dressing with wood chip. You usually get 2 years out of it, so I did that. That's better. Keep the moisture in, protect the roots if we do get a good frost. Another job out the road. England last week, good. Well done, lads. Playing France Sunday, good luck to them and all. Right, my other one has thrown a flower. That's the one upstairs in the loo where the shower is, so he gets good on there. Right, this is done that well in the kitchen. Now it's throwing flowers. You can see them on there. So still looking after them. Look after them, they'll look after you. Not very good. The photo ain't come out very well, but it's still a good one. This Gladiolus I got out during the week. He was a corker, but he did when he turned up. Right, onions, I've only been in 2 months. But still do a weekly check, because there was one, he has started to go rotten. If I'd have kept him in, he'd have sent the others rotten. I just sent some more seeds from my mate over Ostend, sent them off to him. Gladys in the garage, still checking them. They've got the stems on. If they snap off nice and easily, then they will snap off. Of Singular Beauty cormlets, I sent them to my mate Keith down south. Sent him another dollop. Composting day. Chopping a bit of meat, wash it off. Any leaves that are finishing or dropped off, then I'll chop them off as well. Off my sprouts, but I ain't going to pull the leaves off. As I've mentioned before, I will leave some on. So I'll chop them up. Smaller the ingredients, the more you can mix, the quicker the breakdown process. Right, back garden, I've got to do some pruning, chopping off, because we have had a couple of frosts now, and it's jobbing most of them. Alstroemeria, love these, and I'm still throwing buds, throwing shoots. Bloody hardy little chaps these. Look at the shoots on the bottom. So I'll chop all the dahlias, everything else off. With the Alstroemeria, I just pull them straight out. I don't chop them. Did one side and then going down the other side. Which finished that all together. I did the top and the bottom just behind the wall, behind the bench. Chopped all them off as well. Strawberry, because he's in a basket, and if we get a good frost, it will affect it. If I'm outside in the garden or raised bed, and get away with it. But because he's in a hanging basket, I bought him in the cold greenhouse. Poinsettia, I had this from Lidl a while back. He needs potting on. It's really huge compared to the root base size of that. So I'll put him in a decent pot and get him a watering. Cacti and all, he was dry as a ferret on it. So then little Sunday, I was flogging these. So we got one for the mother-in-law, but we kept it in the end. Early morning paper run. There's my little mate. And 10 minutes after I took this photo, we had the sunrise, and it was beautiful red colour. I thought, well, too late in there. Right, I would chip that side. Looks better already. Plus it'll stop the cats from shitting everywhere. Plus top dress and everything, you're protecting the plants that are still left in there. So 2 sides done, top and the bottom. I had this last year, and he's doing well because I'm going to train him up. I've got wires up, and I'll send him either way. Well, it's a good contrast. I think that's a phlox. I had them from Lidl as well, but I'm still flowering, so I'm going to keep them on. Another meal, so I take some more leaves off. I'm still feeding him because I still want him to grow. Right, the forecast snow, so knowing Marlock, I'm going to get it. So I've just lifted the corner, each corner one end, and just roll it over until I get right to the other end, and take the other end up to one. And that's it. You can snow all you want. Bung him in a bag. He was dry, luckily, so I put him in the garage with everything else. Leave the bags open so I know what's in the bags. So he's away for a year. Tesco went shopping, so I went straight up the coffee shop, got me some spent coffee grounds off them while I was there. And I also got some oats, 75 pence. This is the Chapman, so I can get 8 weeks out of there, so it's 10 pence a week for extra ingredient for my compost. Spent coffee grounds, when I get them on, I just open them up, take the covers off and break down. Right, if you have enjoyed the vlog, then like and subscribe to get all